Hello, this is Jeff from Eng-Manfac, Engineering and Manufacturing, and I'm doing a little side job here on my car. I've bought it new about a year ago, and I want to put some stripes on it, some vinyl stripes, make it look a little snappy. Anyway, I wanted them custom, so I drew on my CAD system the exact thing that I wanted on the hood with the two stripes and the wording here. And I called around and searched on the internet and found a place that said they could cut it into the vellum, which is, I think they have a plotter, except it's not a pin plotter, it has a knife in it, so it can knife cut all around everything. And so I sent the file to them, and they kind of worked on it a little bit, got it working, and it wasn't too expensive, and they sent me back the vinyl ready to go. So I've never done this before, but I'm going to give it a try. I've read the instructions that they have on their site, and I've also watched a couple videos on how to do this kind of thing. So I'm going to get the camera and show you here. The main thing, what you have to do is find center line, and I'll bring the camera down here and talk about it. Okay. Okay, so the front is pretty easy because, well, I have a camera right here that's about an inch up from the hood. So that one was pretty simple. I got my mark right where center is. It's the back that was a little bit tricky. And you can see the hood curves, so it's higher out here and narrower down that way. And to try to get that, I figured I measured from here with a tape measure straight on out and put a line here, 14 inches, and I did the same on the other end. And I've got my wife's fabric, tape that she uses for sewing. And I knew that the stripe, or the center, was just past 32, which, see if we can see down here. Where's my line? Yeah, maybe you can see my line. My hand is kind of in the way. But the 32 is just past the line. So when I took another tape and brought it over from that side, all I had to do was split the difference between where the 32 is and 32 and 32, and then that's the middle, and there I put the tape with the line on it. So that's how I found the middle there. But before I did that, they want you to clean the hood, clean the area that it's going to be stuck to really well. And the instructions they had said to use denatured alcohol. The videos I watched said they just use 70% isopropanol, but I went ahead and used the clean strip denatured alcohol. And I have a couple of brand new shop rags, and I just soaked the rags and wiped this whole area where the stripes are going to go. I did that beforehand because the tape sticks much better once it's all clean with anything off of it. Okay, so I'm going to go. I have to make sure I get dust particles out of here too. Make sure that these all stay off. So the next step is to tape down the vinyl decal I have so that it's lined up with the center here and the center up there. Okay, I will go get everything and we'll see about doing that. Okay, I have the decal taped down and on center for the car. They suggest in multiple videos I've seen to do what's called the seam method, meaning you fold it back and you do half and get part of it stuck, then you fold the other half and you peel off the backing paper and get that stuck. So that sounded logical to me, and that's what I'm going to do. So here's my lettering, which maybe you can see. It is a Mach-E, so the Mach-E GT here with the stripes. So I'm going to pull back to about here, and then peel the backing off and cut that backing away so it's not there. And then I have my water with some detergent in it, liquid detergent. They said about 8 to 10 drops or whatever in there, and I've shaken it up. So that's what I want to squirt all over the thing, because it'll help you to be able to move it still. But they said you don't want to get any water on the top of the other paper. There's a bottom paper that pull off, and then there's a top paper that has to pull off that actually you finish with. So I'm going to cover the top with a towel so that I can help to not get that wet. Oh, and in case you didn't notice, I'm wearing sweatpants and a t-shirt because I'm ending up laying on the car, and I wanted no zippers, no rivets, nothing to hurt my paint job. So I'm in complete sweatpants and a t-shirt on purpose, because I'll probably have to get across the thing to work like this. So that's something to remember if you're going to do this. Okay, so with everything taped up above, I'm going to undo the tape down below, and we'll see about pulling the backing off. There. Okay, so let's pull it back to about right in here, and then I'll cut it off. I've got some scissors here. So let's see how this is going to work. Remember, this wasn't very expensive. If I mess it up, I learned, and I will probably order another one and attempt a second try. But I'm hoping I can get this. Wow, that is tough to get to that edge. Let's see here, get my thumb underneath it. There, okay. Okay, so there's the decal staying on the upper half. I want to make sure none of my lettering comes off. Wow, okay. That's looking good. Looking good. Okay, now let's cut the paper. Make sure I get it enough past everything. Yeah. A little tough to do. There. Now I've got some debris on the paint, so I've got to get that off. Use my clean towel again. It's still a little damp with the isopropanol, so that's nice. All right, I'm going to pull this tape off. We don't need it now. Okay, let's see how this works. Supposed to, they said, wet this down too. I'll have to go over there and unroll that. There. Okay. That's pretty damp. Stepping on this paper is slippery. Okay, let's see what I can get here. Not bad. Okay. Forgot the squeegee. Okay. Just doing it lightly at first here. There. Bump right here I don't like. Yep, there's a little bump right there I don't like. I may have to wrinkle it in the middle because of this bump on the fender, or the bump on the hood. Oh, I don't like that. Yeah, it may not work with this design. I'm gonna have to wrinkle it in the middle a little bit to get that to work. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. I think it's messed up here. Yeah. Yeah, I think it messed up. I may have to rethink this. I think I'm going to cut it through the top here. Damn, it just isn't working. Yeah, it wrinkled all over here. Yep, this isn't going to work. bit of the paper from underneath stuck there. Okay, got it. All right, now got a little bit of bubbles. They said I could use a pin to get them out if I can't push them out. So I'll probably have to do that. All right, let's see here. Can I get it past my lettering? Not too bad. Water squirting out. Okay. Damn it. Well, they say I'm supposed to now use a heat gun to get it to roll around and underneath and stick. So I'll do that and we'll see how it looks at the end. Thanks. Hello there. I'm back now. It's been a couple of days since I put the decal on, so it is now fully cured and stuck down well. I wanted to discuss some of the issues I had putting this on so that you'll be informed if you decide to put your own decal on. And I'll need to bring the camera down here to show you, but what the main problem was, I knew there's a curve here, of course, you can see that, but I didn't think it was curved in the other direction much, but sure enough, it is quite a bit. That's a compound curve, and a compound curve is what was giving me the issues I had. So let me bring this camera here and show you. So when I laid it down here, I'm glad that I did the center part first, that I squeegeed out the water and got that perfectly down and flat. It's these ends that had the problem. And since, let me get my measure again, since it is on a compound curve, that's where the issue happened. As you can see here, my stripe was exactly 2 inches wide, but down here it's no longer 2, and that's because of that compound curve the other way. This side had to go inward a little bit and this side had to curve this way. That's why when I was putting this down, the paper kept bumping up right here. It kept trying to come up and I kept trying to push the paper out to get it to go down without it turning. And that is what's caused the wrinkles I have here, because I was pushing pretty hard. Here's a wrinkle, and here's a wrinkle. I was trying to push this that direction to keep it from wrinkling here in the middle. The paper was curving, and I even got one over here. That's difficult to see there. I got a little wrinkle here. So that was issue number 1. Once I took and cut the paper, the top paper up, I just had to keep this down until it just self-curved on its own. It just curved right over and went down. You really can't tell from a distance that is smaller than that. And the same thing with the back. You really can't tell, but it was a little longer distance from here, and so it curved in a little bit more. But so that was step 1. That was the first issue. If you got a wide decal and you got a gap in the middle, make sure you cut the paper here so that these can turn a little bit, curve this way and curve that way and come in. The other issue I had was at the beginning when I took this and I rolled the thing back and I peeled the bottom paper back, I used scissors to cut it. And if you remember in that video, I had debris from those scissors and I tried to wipe it away, but I didn't get it all. I didn't see there's some debris that got underneath in the back. I kept thinking they were air bubbles and I poke it with a pin. I couldn't, and I felt, I said, no, that's debris underneath. And I got a little bit on this side too. So number 2, issue 2, don't use scissors to cut, because as you snip, you don't get the scissors exactly right and you can cut a little chunks of paper off. Use a razor blade. Cut one clean cut across the bottom to get that paper out of the way. no more debris then. So anyway, those are the two major issues I had. Otherwise, everything went on easily with the felt-tipped squeegee. If you remember in the video, you might have heard some noises. There was like a bubble, and as I'm pushing, it goes and it comes out. And there was many little ones I was pushing, water would shoot out, and I dried it with a towel. But anyway, compound curves are an issue. And when you do a wrap, their material is way thinner, and I think it stretches a bit. Like, let's say let's come over to my Harley here. If you tried to wrap around this spherical tank, you'd never do it with that stuff. That's why those wrap materials are stretchy and pull and be able to get around those curves like that. So going forward here, when I do the back, I actually ordered another one. I ordered another entire decal, because when I tried the back, I cut something, and I needed to get another piece. So I ordered a whole new piece again, and that way, when I have the front again, I might redo this. I don't know when. I think I'm going to leave this on here for now. It's not bad, but as you can come around the back here, you can see it's got the same issue. It's on a curve. Of course, it curves like crazy this other direction, but everywhere it's got a curve. It's got a compound curve, so it's going to be doing the same thing. I'm going to be doing it a little differently. I don't want to take this off. It's factory glued on straight in center. Since I have other tools, I made myself a little template to cut this around here like that, the outside, and I'll set it on the decal and gently and accurately as I can cut that GT out. And so then I'll start right here. I'll stick it down right here, squeegee it all out, and the two stripes that come up, they're also going to want to curve, and I'll make sure I split the paper, and I'll split the paper because down below they'll curve. And that's how I'm planning to do the back end once I get my new decal shipped to me again. Okay, so anyway, please like the video and subscribe to my channel for other weird things I do. All right, bye-bye.